Scott!
I got a bad feeling about this.
Let me tell you something.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Quad City sports fans of all ages, Town Square Media is proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, J-Bird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City sports talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Welcome back, everybody. It's glad for Jay and I to be here for you. Missed you yesterday. Jay said it was a hangover due to the draft. It kind of was.
Yeah, I mean, you had that. I had some appointments to take care of, and it was a long weekend anyway. I was out of town, so there's not a lot you can do around.
And now that draft season's over, allergy season's here. Yay.
Yay, it sure is.
So if you hear me coughing, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, the NFL draft was a big deal. Good for them, what they did. They had, on Thursday night, ratings were down a little bit from last year, but they still had 2 million more viewers than the Oscars did on the previous Sunday.
Oh, no.
No.
2 million more? How about 22 million more?
Over the Oscars?
Yeah. 33 million as opposed to 9 million.
Oh, well, that's something else.
Yeah, I saw those numbers. 33 million people viewed the draft day one. 9 million people viewed the Oscars.
Oh, well, then my numbers are off. Yep.
Yeah, I tweeted that out. Pretty telling of what,
I don't think you're reading yours right.
I'm telling you, I got it right.
Just on Thursday or overall?
Thursday.
I've got Thursday's coverage to 12.5 million viewers. It's the event's second highest viewership ever, trailing last year, and it's about 2 million more than the Oscars.
I'm telling you, it was 33 million.
All right.
Wherever I got it from was pretty reliable. I can't remember what it was. Nah, it was like it was an actual.
But all the buzz is really the draft still. The NBA is getting real close to the playoffs. LeBron's doing his best to keep the buzz of the playoffs going on by tweeting out dumb stuff. But it's also, let's get it out of the way. It's May the 4th. Be with you day.
Yeah. 30 million people watched the NFL draft. That would have been 3 days ago that I tweeted that out.
Yeah.
So 3 days ago I tweeted that out. So that would have came out on Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, right? Monday, Sunday, Saturday. So I tweeted it out Saturday morning. Maybe it was the first 2 days, 30 million people watched. Maybe I was mistaken.
For the second day, but
either way, yeah. But second day was pretty damn good.
But you know what? They could be thrown in streaming too. They really could.
They could. I'm just saying. I know. Like, I didn't just grab the number out of thin air. I promise you. But either way, yeah, it's pretty telling. It's pretty awesome too, by the way.
It was. It was a good. I mean, we talked on Friday with Merrick about it, and I think it was great. There's some winners and losers, right?
Yeah, I got my draft grades, going through everything. Man, I mean, there was. I'll tell you this. I'll give you a little teaser.
Mm-hmm.
There are two teams. If you could have graded higher than an A, I would have given them. So I gave them A++.
I think I know who they are. I feel confident with knowing who that are.
There are the lowest grade I have is a D-.
I think I can. Is that two teams?
No, I have two teams with a D, one with a D-.
Okay, I feel like I know who those are as well.
A lot of B's, a lot of people in the B+, B- range, all that. Very few C's. I think I'm looking here. I see a couple C's. Got a C-.
And there was a lot of undrafted free agents, though, too.
Yeah. A lot of Hawkeyes went. I'm excited that Cowboys got two Hawkeyes. I love the Chauncey Golson pick. I don't care what anybody says. That kid, I've been loving him for a while. I know I had talked to Kakert prior to last year saying I thought he was going to make a good pro. Then they ended up getting Brandon Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yep, on undrafted free agent. So I mean, it's a talented wide receiver core. If he can break in there, who knows what he can do. But, it'll probably be special teams, things like that. But I think he has a great chance. All Hawkeyes will, just because of the toughness, I think. Smith Marset going up to Minnesota.
Yep.
I think that's going to be good for him. I think he's definitely going to be a return specialist. Carolina getting Davion Nixon where they did. Friggin' steal. Unreal that he dropped that far. I don't know what. I kept trying to find out why and what. I don't know. So, Neiman got drafted by the Broncos. Alaric Jackson is undrafted free agent going to the Rams. Am I missing anybody? I think I got them all.
You said Nixon, right?
Yeah, Davion to Carolina.
Yeah, he's going to be – I think he's going to do well there. I think Carolina had a pretty good draft as well.
They certainly did. But, yeah, we'll probably jump into that right after the first break, right?
What?
The draft grades?
Oh, yeah. We've got all kinds of things to talk about. We've got baseball going on, the NBA. We've still got more draft. We'll do it after the first break. We have a guest at 1:15, John Byrne. He's going to be in studio. He's actually running the Ledbetter coming up. It's an actual fascinating story. The Ledbetter it's an incredible race, and it's a 100-mile race. It's basically an ultra marathon, and he's run this. This will be his 5th year running this, not in a row, but he's run it 5 times, and so this will be his 5th time doing it. The first time he did it was in 2012. He'll tell us the whole time, but I've talked to him about it, and he's raising money for Autism Speaks, which is a great thing, and he's just a great dude, and to hear his story of like how he got involved in the stuff at, I don't want to say the age he is, but he just kind of started later bit on in life, getting into these triathlons and ultra marathons and everything. So, and friend of the show, Pat Miletich, has done the Leadville as well, and it's 2 miles above sea level. So it's crazy. And the whole thing started actually because a mining town was going under in Colorado, and they just wanted to get tourists there. And now this is a huge deal that it happened. So the guy's awesome. I can't wait for him to come in here and talk. And he'll be in at 1:15. At 1 o'clock, we'll talk to Mike Martin out at Hidden Hills. The reason why we're doing our DFS a day early is because tomorrow we're interrupted by the White Sox. So we're going to call in and talk to him as well. Major League Baseball. Some scores yesterday. There were so many postponements because of weather yesterday. It's so annoying. But the Phillies beat the Brewers 4-3. The Twins beat the Rangers 6-5. Indians over the Royals 8-6. Cardinals 6-5 over the Mets. The Rays 7-3 over the Angels. Athletics beat the Blue Jays 5-4. Padres shut out the Pirates 2-0. And the Orioles went on the road in Seattle 5-3. Our current standings right now in the American League East, Boston has a 2-game lead over Toronto and 2.5 game over New York Yankees. The Kansas City Royals are at 16-11. They are one game above the Chicago White Sox, 15-12. And in the American League West, Oakland, after having that run of those victories in a row, I think it was 12 straight. They're 18-12, and they still have a 2-game lead over Houston and Seattle. In the National League East, it's a close race between Washington, Philadelphia, and the Mets. There's only a half game that separates them. And in the Central, Milwaukee, who just beat up on the Dodgers over the weekend, they took 2 out of 3. They're sitting at 17-12, but so are the Cardinals at 17-12. And the Giants, 17-11. The Dodgers now are a half game back of the San Francisco Giants. And
we're the Cubbies.
That being said, the San Francisco Giants, Easer A's would like to hear this, have the best winning percentage in all of Major League Baseball. The Cubs are sitting at 12-16. They are 4.5 games back of Milwaukee and the Cardinals. So, a lot of games going on today. Unfortunately, the Giants and Colorado has been postponed, but the Dodgers and the Cubs, they'll play today in the afternoon game. The other game of the Giants-Colorado game, that's supposed to be at 5:40. White Sox play at 6:40 against Cincinnati, Arizona and Miami, Atlanta and the Nationals, Milwaukee and Philadelphia, Houston at the Yankees, Detroit at Boston, Texas at Minnesota, the Dodgers and the Cubs in the doubleheader. That's the night game. You can see Trevor Bauer throw tonight against the Cubs. If you're wondering who's throwing today, it's going to be Clayton Kershaw versus Kyle Hendricks in the early game. So that's going to be 7-inning games.
Yep.
So
don't throw a no-hitter, though.
No hitter. That's
Won't
right.
count.
Yep. Mets in St. Louis, Cleveland, Kansas City Royals, Rays and Angels, Toronto and Oakland as well. Pittsburgh, again, plays at San Diego, Baltimore at Seattle. So a lot of games out there. If you're looking for your DFS, look for the slate and realize that some of them are 7-inning games. Do the right thing. Do your research. My slate last night, because the postponements came out late, just sucked for my DFS. So I hated it. I hated all of it. Today is the opening day for minor league baseball.
Yay.
Yay is right. And next week, next Tuesday, will be opening day at Modern Woodman Park for the Quad City River Bandits. So we're looking to talk to Kyle, who's been on the show, just the voice of the River Bandits, later on this week. And we're hoping to maybe do some type of show at the River Bandits next week as well. Drum us some support. I'm excited. Getting ready to go down there, watch some baseball. I know they have, limited things of what they're doing, the spacing-wise, and just got to follow guidelines. But you can find all that at the Quad City River Bandits. And the only thing I'm thinking about is, am I going to have a practice or a game that Tuesday night that it's going to keep me out of it? That's the one thing. I'm in the busy time.
You're going to say you're going to have a burger or a dog.
No, I'm having a dog if I go there.
All right, so dog and a brew?
Yep, dog and a beer. But the thing is, it's a busy season, T-Roy. I'm running around soccer games, baseball games, softball games. We were out of town last weekend.
Busy fella.
I know. Coach's Corner's back.
Piss anybody off?
No, I didn't piss anybody off this weekend. I know, actually, the thing is, it's the exact opposite. You know my whole theory of how I just throw the fans underneath the bus whenever something happens if I need a call? The exact opposite. I'm really good at this. When you go to the pregame coin flip or whatever, at remembering their names, I always meet the coach too. I remember their name. I introduce myself. So I created a rapport with the umpires. And luckily enough, we had the same field the entire tournament, and the same umpire stayed on the field. So Kent and Maurice and I were tight the entire time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was no problem. I just go out there one time, and I'm like, hey, are we sure, Kent, are we sure she didn't leave early over there? Do you want to ask Maurice? They go out there, have a nice little talk and everything else. And then, and so they come back, and they're like, and Kent's like, I think she left early, but we can't really come to a complete decision. So can we just warn her? Can we tell the coach more? I said, yeah, absolutely. Good relationship.
Look at you.
Daughter cried a little bit.
Your daughter did?
Yeah.
Why? Did you yell at her?
Nope.
You sure you didn't?
She thought I was going to.
Oh, why? Because she swung on a 3-0?
No. She started off 3-0. She took. Then it was a called strike. Then strike 2 was a little bit inside. I thought it was a ball, and I think it kind of threw her off. And then I can't remember. I honestly don't know if it was a backwards K or if she went down swinging. I know she was kind of thrown off, but then the tears were coming, and I was asking her, like, what's going on? And then she didn't appreciate my asking her why you're crying, because what are you crying for? And then,
because you're talking to me.
Yeah, that's what it was. So then I just had to tell her, like, you can't get that
dummy.
at bat. She was like, I'm bad at softball. I was like, you're not bad. Stop it. And then I was like, you can't get that at bat back. You have to focus on the next one. And tried to pick her back up, and she just kept crying. I was like, it's gone. I mean, it is gone. Like, forget about it. So, but then she came back the next game. Yeah,
can't get it back.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't use that analogy.
No, do not use that analogy
at all.
That'll make her
cry more, I think.
But and then there's soccer. There's baseball tonight. There was baseball. Got rained out last night. We're gonna have league games tomorrow. So every night it's traveling, and Friday nights are now made for cutting up fruit and packing the cooler and packing the car for the tournament.
Used to be made for Michelob.
Yeah, now it's getting all over the place. So, anyway, excited for the minor league baseball happening. Excited for everything being busy, but I want to get down to Modern Woodman Park. I want to be there as much as I can, so I want to be able to watch a ball game, and we'll just see how the restrictions are and everything else.
I think they should bring back regular Michelob. Remember back in the day, it was in a weird little glass?
Yeah, it was a weird little bottle.
And it was the high end of beer?
Yeah.
The weekends were made for Michelob.
Well, the bottle was a little bit...
Yeah, a little short,
yeah,
stout.
Yeah. And it had a little curve to it, a little hourglass curve to it.
Hourglass curve to it, and it had the wrapping around the top, like a Modelo kind of.
Yeah.
Now.
And you felt like you were drinking something fancy.
Yeah, you were fancy. You were drinking Michelob.
Now the people...
you other heathens are out there drinking Busch and Bud and whatever. Schlitz.
One of the first six-packs, hold on. One of the first six-packs I ever bought.
Was it Michelob?
It was Michelob Light. It was at the P&P Petro and Provisions when I was legal, one of the six-packs. I had bought in some before.
Oh.
but when I was legal, and it was like the time I was getting off of work when I was an Apple buddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna pick up a 6-pack. Hard day at work.
P&P up on the hill in Cedar Falls.
Yep.
Oh boy.
On Searly. Yeah,
Yep.
in the corner of Maine and Searly, and then I picked it up, and I must have thought like I was this mature guy, like just getting done working at being an Apple buddy,
Yeah.
slaving away for the Clubhouse Grills and chicken fajita roll-ups and bourbon steaks and everything.
Look at you.
And I sat down, got a 6-pack, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm a hard worker.
yeah. I don't think I ever bought a Mick Light 6-pack ever again.
Why, you didn't like the flavor?
I don't mind it at all. So it's
I think that's a defunct beer now. Like it's all Mick Ultra now. We
Yeah,
gotta
it's all
deal
Mick
with it.
Ultra.
Now if you work out, all you drink is Mick Ultra.
The NBA is getting a little interesting.
Is it?
Yes, the playoffs are a real tight race, and there's only a few games left to decide.
What's
the final.
Crybaby complaining about today?
Well, all right. So there's 14
talking
days
about
left.
LeBron, if you didn't
There's
really.
14 days left in the regular season, and the playoff picture is getting a little jumbled, if you will.
Yeah.
Right now, this is as of Sunday night. The Suns and 76ers were the number 1 seed, but the Bucks were right there. The Knicks would host a playoff series. The season ended today, but the thing is what happens is there's play-in games between the 7 and 8 teams and the 9s and 10s, and the winners of the 7 and 8 game advance to play in the first round series against the number 2, while the loser plays the winner of the 9 and 10 game to determine the final spot.
Are the Lakers in one of those spots?
The Lakers are definitely in one of those spots.
I hope they get beat.
They have a very, very important game tonight. Or I'm sorry, was it? No, that was last night. But the problem with it, LeBron's got a high ankle sprain that he said this is one of the worst injuries of his career. It's the hardest one to come back from. But he also doesn't like the fact that the defending champions are in a possibility of not making the playoffs, or they have to do a play-in game. To which he said,
Too bad.
yeah, he said, he tweeted out,
Play better.
whoever came up with this SHIT needs to be fired. And Daryl Morey, who used to be a GM of the Houston Rockets, said, I can't believe the NBA hastily implemented a change that makes games more meaningful. Well,
Really?
who came
Is
up
he
with
being
this?
serious or is he being sarcastic right
No,
there?
Daryl's being serious. No, he's making fun of LeBron.
Oh.
He's like, I
okay.
can't believe the NBA is doing something. I mean, something that the owners need, the NBA needs, the other players
but
need.
LeBron's, God, he's just the absolute worst. Just garbage.
If it doesn't benefit him,
Yes, it doesn't benefit him. He doesn't care.
no.
Walks around. Oh, he's just irritating.
So, but yeah, it is irritating. But the thing is, I like the NBA playoffs, and I do like to play in games. And guess what? Change is going to happen no matter what. It happened in Major League Baseball, and we're fine with it.
Yeah.
And
Did you see that thing on Twitter, by the way, with LeBron, where he was going in for a layup and the guy went straight up, and then he acts like he got hit in the eye, and he's like, I mean, he's faking it like he's in pain, like he's like holding his face, and then they show the replay from another angle, and the guy is like at least 4 inches from his face.
Yeah,
And that's the kind of dude we're dealing with.
I
He's a drama
understand,
queen, dude.
but they all a little bit are prima donnas or whatever else.
Well,
So.
he's the worst of the worst. He can play soccer easily. You know how they fall down.
Yeah, the flopping. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But yeah,
I don't want to hear from a bunch of soccer players how tough you are. Right, whatever.
the other news that happened late last weekend was the idea of the college football playoff expansion, which probably won't happen within the next 2 years. But there's going to be a meeting, and I think all 11 committee members are supposed to get together sometime in June. Getting all of them to approve a single model is going to be hard. Right now, it's anywhere. The expansion is looking at anywhere from 6 to 16 teams. But the 11-member committee has 4-member subgroup leading the charge. Greg Sankey, who's the SEC commissioner, Bob Bowlesby, the Big 12 commissioner, Craig Thompson, Mountain West, and Jack Swarbrick, Notre Dame athletic director.
How does Bowlesby get that job?
At Big 12?
Yeah.
I don't know. 5 of the 11 committee members told SI earlier this week that they are in favor of expansion, while another 3 said they're open to it. It's going to really, really...
What's your best guess?
Well, it's not going to stop. How's that? Here's my best guess. It's going to grow eventually to 16, but it has to grow because look at this number. Listen to this number.
Okay.
The average NCAA sport includes 20% of its teams in playoffs. Only 4 out of 130 FBS teams make the playoffs. That's 3%. Yeah. So if you get to it, let's.
Now, how do they do this thing? If they make it 16, they eat up a bunch of different major bowls doing it. Is that right?
That's what they're going to have to do because of the.
Because that would make 16 teams to start out with would make 8 bowl games, and then from there would make 4 bowl games, and then 2, and then 1. Okay, right? Am I doing the math right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you stay with the big ones on the days they are, and then there's still room then for some of these lesser bowl games to attract people that didn't make the playoff. Correct?
Yes, because still at 16, you're at just at 12.3% of FBS teams making the postseason for a chance in national.
And I get their argument, but I guess how do they do it in FCS?
It's so well. I think it's 16, but
Is it 16?
you have automatic, and then there's wild cards or whatever.
What I'm saying,
Gotta be 16.
football is a little bit different than any other sport, mind you, because you only play once a week, and the toll it takes on your body, you can't play like back-to-back games. So,
isn't it a conflict when you say you have to limit the amount of hits you can do in spring practice because we're worried about health and concussions, but then you're adding games? Now,
are you adding games? I mean, yes, you are.
You're adding 2 more weeks to it. You're adding 2 more weeks to this. A 16-team playoff would require 2 additional weeks of games.
Okay. I mean, I get it, but this is NCAA. I don't know.
The other thing is that it's so brand new that they haven't really even talked about the Bulls. Like, okay, you're going to be a site for a semi, or
well,
if
yeah,
they
they'd
even
have
host
to figure all that out. But
Yeah.
I mean, the bowls that they usually there's 4 bowl games that they rotate everything on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Rose,
Sugar,
Fiesta,
I believe,
and Orange, or no?
Yeah, or
Yeah, Orange.
okay.
Because that was when, right? Orange. It's Orange. Because dude was grabbing the orange in his mouth back in the day.
Okay. So I'm going with it for now, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
If
good to
I'm wrong, someone can correct us on there.
Rose Fiesta. Cotton?
No.
What's in Atlanta?
I don't know.
That's Atlanta's one of them.
That's the sugar. No. I don't know.
We'll figure that out, yeah.
Maybe there's 5 they rotate
Yeah.
at now. Anyway.
I would like to look at the BCS era from 98 to 2013 and see like what teams that were left out, if we were to replay them, who would have been there, who would have been the 1 through 4, but that's neither here nor there. But then the other thing is Amazon came up a year early and bought the rights to Thursday night football games. It will begin in 2022. One year than it was originally announced that it was going to do, so they must have upped the deal a little
How's that
bit.
going to work? Can you still watch it on NFL Network, or is it just
I think it's streaming.
just on Amazon?
From what I read, from what I understood, I think it's just streaming on Amazon.
Who's going to announce the game?
I don't know.
That's questions I had. Is it still going to air on NFL Network, or do you have to have Amazon? Follow me?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the announcers?
I bet you it's still on NFL Network. They have complete control over that. If I was the
think
NFL
so.
Network,
I
I'd
would
be
think
like,
so, too.
man, we're still involved. Like that's
Because even when whoever had Thursday Night Football this past year, which I believe it was Fox,
it. Mm-hmm.
you could still watch it on NFL Network. It was simulcast.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The other thing, NBA is really trying to bring in more people for more eyes on everything. Did you see the Hero Points stuff that they did with Marvel? They signed players, different Marvel characters, and you could you put a team together, and then they had a leaderboard.
I saw something like that, but
Yeah.
I just it's what league it is, and I don't care.
Well, I think they're
and
gonna.
I don't care enough, even if it has Marvel.
They're gonna
text
do
to it.
this. They're gonna do the same thing tonight with Star Wars, a little Star
good for
Wars
them.
type of thing. So in the game, the Houston Yankees
that
game,
goes right in line with everything. NBA and Disney all love China.
Houston and the Houston Yankees game is gonna have a Star Wars theme as well.
Hey, speaking of that, off the topic here.
Sure.
Not really. But did you see that the Chinese launched this rocket into space?
No.
And that it's there's something that is attached to it's going to like some space station, right? Something like that. But there's a thing that gets you that last boost into space. It breaks you through the thing. Well, that thing's supposed to fall back to Earth into the water when they launch it.
Okay.
Something malfunctioned, and it stayed attached until it got into space, and now it's in orbit.
Oh.
It's careening out of control, and it's going to come back to Earth uncontrolled sometime in the next few days.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's like we have a few minutes for Armageddon.
Well, here's the deal. It's
What's isn't it gonna?
It's 10 stories tall and 6 stories wide, I believe. So it's pretty big. And they're saying majority of it should burn up in impact, but there's still going to be large chunks that are falling to the ground. This is the range of where they're telling you from north to south. Okay, it's going to land somewhere north of New York City and somewhere south of New Zealand.
What?
That's the range. All the way around the globe. They don't know where it's going to land, but that's north and south.
That's like latitude lines of like.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty much covering the latitude lines almost all the way
from it's going to land in the water, right? Because the majority of it's just covered in water. Chances are. But. Or somewhere that's uninhabited. But just, what if it... I mean, if it lands on the studio, it's probably doing everybody a favor.
Yeah.
They got to build a new one. Then we get all new equipment.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. No, I actually...
All the stuff that was broken, they can just put brand new in.
I can't believe that they... Yeah.
It's happened before, I guess. This isn't the first time it's happened, and I think, not just with China, but in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is because it happened before with China, actually, and that one landed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And at the time, everybody's like, dude, what are you guys doing? So, yeah, this is... I thought it was a joke when I first saw it. And I told Amy, you got to look this up, make sure that I'm not getting catfished here. Is this real? And she's like, oh, my God, it is real.
You see it on TikTok? Just like there was this rumor going around that there was a serial killer in Rockford, Illinois that got over 2 million views on TikTok. And it's not, there's no correlation. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, let's take a look at the draft. Let's see some winners, losers, get some grades, talk about the Bears, all our kind of regional teams. And is Aaron Rodgers really out of Green Bay?
I don't know. That's the only thing that Locals Love Us cannot tell you. That's right. They can tell you everything, whether you need to get your oil changed, get a tattoo, or grab a place to eat. They can tell you what are the favorite sites here in our Quad Cities. There's a nice little guide. It has a table of contents so you can find what you're looking for, or go to localsloves.com. You click on Quad Cities and then you browse favorites. Easy to use, and everybody can take advantage of it. So try them today. That's Locals Love Us, your guide to the best.
The Rock says he's gonna make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah! This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
PointsBet understands that in sports, it pays to be fast. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Whether you're a bettor or a baller, a sharp or a sharpshooter, if you're making money or just laying money, sports is speed. Luckily, your sports book can keep up. When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards at your fingertips. Plus, right now, PointsBet is giving customers the best odds on all pro sports. That's better odds and bigger payouts on our lightning fast app because PointsBet knows every second matters. Time is money, and it pays to be fast. PointsBet has the best odds on all pro sports, so download the app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. See for yourself why bettors are calling PointsBet innovative, lightning quick, and the reason they have ditched the other books. Download the app now to experience Iowa's premium sports book for yourself. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You're right on par in your M&M golf cart.
M&M
M&M Golf Cars, your authorized club car dealer, invites you to check out the new Onward by Club Car. Onward's all-new accessories personalize nearly every detail to fit your lifestyle. Customize yours at mmgolfcars.com. 1.99% financing for 48 months through the end of the month.
You're right on par in your M&M Golf Cart. M&M Golf Cart.
M&M Golf Cars, Bettendorf.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to getlocalcustomersnow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit getlocalcustomersnow.com. Getlocalcustomersnow.com.
Sorry to interrupt your jams, murder mystery podcasts, or motivational beach noises, but we got something else you might like to hear. It's called cash. That's the sound of an extra $250 after your first 10 deliveries with Uber Eats. That's right, an extra $250 on top of all the other cash you'll make during those first 10 deliveries. If that sounds good, visit t.uber.com/extra250. Uber Eats, deliver with us. Limited time offer, terms apply. See t.uber.com/extra250 for more details.
Cobham Mission Systems, the world's leading supplier of critical aerospace life support solutions, is looking for motivated individuals to join their manufacturing team. If you're looking for an innovative career with an aerospace manufacturing leader, Cobham has immediate openings for CNC machinists and an industrial electrician. Enjoy a competitive compensation package, including comprehensive benefits and paid leave. CNC machinists start at over $27 an hour, and electricians start at over $28 an hour. Apply today at CobhamMissionSystems.com. Discover an innovative career today at Cobham.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Monday was the deadline for teams to pick up the fifth-year option on their 2018 first-round picks. And the Bills made sure to lock up two key pieces of their team for at least one extra year. Buffalo picked up the options on quarterback Josh Allen and linebacker Tremaine Edmonds Monday. Both players were Pro Bowlers in 2020. Meantime, the Cowboys declined the fifth-year option on Leighton Vander Esch. But NFL Network's Shane Slater reports the team would like to sign the linebacker to a new long-term deal. In New England, the Patriots are picking up the fifth year on offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn, but decline the option on running back Sony Michel, meaning he will be a free agent after this season. And the Panthers may bring back a familiar face. The team asked permission to interview Bills exec and former Carolina All-Pro linebacker Dan Morgan for their assistant GM position. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
So, how can I promote my new curbside pickup service?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need custom floor decals that'll get noticed, not just walked on.
Also possible, Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. And now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 5/29. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu with iconic flavors that taste like instant summer. You order the one and only Drumstick Blizzard with peanuts. Oh, wow. Crunchy waffle cone pieces, world-famous DQ soft serve, and Blue Sky Bliss. Or maybe you get the Brownie Batter Blizzard. Ooh, wee. Fudgy brownie goodness. You're feeling breezy and dreamy all over. Moments like these are why the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu exists. Get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy tastes good.
This is Len Casper. You're listening to the new home of the Chicago White Sox in the Quad Cities, ESPN 1170.
All right, everybody, we're back. Thanks for tuning in again to Don't Hassle Us. We're local, AM 1170.
Yeah, so I know the draft was the big deal over the weekend, and I know sports fans out there have heard plenty about your teams and everything, but we're still going to talk about it because we're going to give T-Roy's going to give his grades. We're going to talk about some winners and losers, some surprises that we had, and everything else. So, T-Roy.
Well, leading up to the draft, we had Emily come in at the beginning of April. We did a mock there.
Yep.
And then we also did, obviously, my mock. And me out. We did the every other mock with
Merrick. Yeah, we went to every other pick. Yep.
So if you kind of want to go back and hear how we did,
sure.
I broke it down. So if you look at just the first 32 picks, I already kind of told you on day one, how we did. But overall, on day one of the draft, the first 32 picks, if people that we selected to go went into the draft or not. So out of 32 players, how many did you get actually right in the first round?
Okay.
Emily went 22 for 32.
Yeah.
I went 25 for 32. And then Merrick and I and the every other also went 25 for 32. So not bad. I think everybody did pretty well.
Okay.
I went all the way to 52, if you recall.
Yeah, I know.
And this was the guy, the one guy that was on NFL Network. They kept bragging him up when he had 40 of 50 right. Actually, 40 of his top 50 went in the first 50 picks.
Yeah.
I was 42 of 52.
Yeah.
I looked at Amy. I said, "Hey, I'm right up there with the best, apparently."
Yep.
So I got 42
guys. How hard did she roll her eyes?
Pretty hard.
Okay.
42 guys that I said would be drafted in the top 52 picks went in the top 52 picks. So, where I got it wrong, who knows? I mean, guys that didn't go, Creed Humphrey, Davion Nixon, Pat Fryermuth. Trying to see who else I missed out on.
Well, I think in the first round, the ones that were...
Kyle Trask, I had him going at 52 to the Bears, but that got messed up. But he did go in the second round. So.
Yeah, he did. He went 64th overall to Tampa Bay.
We did call that. I actually said, I can see Tampa Bay taking Kyle Trask at the last pick in the second round. You do recall me saying that.
Oh, yeah. And actually, our boy Stocking had them picking... They had him picking quarterback, but it was Kellen Mond in his preview as well.
Yeah.
No, I heard an interesting take yesterday about the situation in Tampa Bay, that Kyle Trask will sit there and learn and be mentored by Tom Brady, and then when Tom is done, Bruce will retire, and Tom takes over as head coach and has Kyle as his quarterback, and then Tom Brady continues his legacy chasing Bill Belichick for
Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, Super Bowl rings.
Oh boy, that's an interesting legacy.
That is an interesting one, isn't it?
I don't think Tom wants to coach, but that's all right. That's a funny take. I love it. It makes sense.
Did you see the quote that Tom Brady had about Julian Edelman's retirement?
No.
Said, let's be honest. He just didn't want to tell Bill that he wanted to come to Tampa Bay. Because I've been there before.
That is good stuff.
Yeah, there were some interesting things going on around in day 2 as well as like day 3. And I'd like in the day 3 one, I do like Carolina out there with Chuba Hubbard from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
The interesting one at 133 in the 4th round was Ian Book going to New Orleans Saints.
There were some interesting picks. A lot was beat made about a lot of different things. Now, I guess I'll kind of just jump on it as I get in there.
Sure, go ahead.
I do have this broke down by division.
All right.
So, starting the AFC?
Yeah.
Is that fine? So, the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills, I gave them a B-. Round 1, they got Russo, defensive lineman from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Round 2, Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake, pick 61. Round 3, Spencer Brown, tackle from Northern Iowa.
Yep.
And then round 5, Tommy Doyle, tackle from Miami, Ohio. They got a wide receiver in round 6.
The wide receiver is an interesting one because he's very, very fast.
Marquez Stevenson.
Yes, and he's the one that they said if he can get off the line pretty well, he can spread the field out, and that's kind of what Buffalo was missing because Cole Beasley wasn't that guy, and Emmanuel Sanders isn't going to be that guy. They lost John Brown, and Stephon Diggs is a possession type of receiver, so this guy can fly if he can get off the ball fast.
Yeah, I gave them a B-.
Yeah.
Would have been a solid B. Basham had fallen pretty far. When they took Basham at 61, I thought there were some guys maybe they could have got better, but whatever. I think overall, pretty good grade. Probably a B-, more leaning towards B on that, for me. But overall, a very good draft by Buffalo. I mean, obviously picking 30 and then going down the line where they had 30, 61, 93. You can follow the math. No 4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did really well for what they need. They covered their needs. Defensive end was big on their needs. They didn't really attack really too much. They did get a cornerback late, which was another big need for them. But wide receiver was a need, and so was offensive line. So you got to give them credit. I thought it was a great draft for them. So B minus B, right around there. Can't go wrong. I think those are all good grades. Moving on to Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Waddle at number 6. And then Jalen Phillips at 18. We talked about that. So 2 picks in the first round. And then there are 2 in the second. Javon Holland and Liam Eichenberg.
Okay.
They also get one of the better tight ends in this draft in the 3rd round, Hunter Long out of Boston College. And then they don't draft in the 7th rounds. They get an offensive tackle and a running back, Lenar Coleman and Jared Dokes. Who cares? 7th round. Miami gets an A. I mean, Jalen Waddle is great. We know Jalen Phillips is already up there for potential Rookie of the Year on the defensive side. Javon Holland was the second best safety graded in the draft, but he's a tremendous talent. And Eichenberg, was arguably first-round talent as well. Hunter Long, a steal at 81. So, really good draft by Miami. The Jets, Jets, Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only thing about their draft that made them fall to a B+.
A B+
would be, I don't know if Zach Wilson is the man.
Okay.
But if he's not, they're going to find out quick because they gave him every damn tool that they can think of. Last year they had Mekhi Becton, right?
Yeah.
He's got Elijah Vera Tucker. He's got a nasty line.
Yeah.
They give him Elijah Moore. He's got Corey Davis. They draft Michael Carter from UNC.
That's right.
In the 4th round.
Love that pick.
They get safety Jamie Sherwood in the 5th. I like some of their later picks. They just drafted some help in the secondary with safety out of Duke, Michael Carter, Jason Pinnock, cornerback Pitt, and Brandon Eccles out of Kentucky, another corner. And then I thought the steal for them. This guy was in top 5 of safeties. Hamza Nasruddin, a safety out of Florida. He's a large safety. I don't know how he felt around 6. Dude is a beast. I think that's going to be a steal. If you recall, a man named Richard Sherman was a 6th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I thought the Jets did really good. B+, man. This would have been an A easily, but I don't know if Zach Wilson's the dude. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced.
I'm with you.
Okay. I mean, we all knew that's who they were taking. But
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. So, then moving on to the New England Patriots. Listen, I don't know. Emily was pretty high on Mac Jones. Is he going to be the first Bama quarterback to make it? He's going to be playing for Bill. But their first 2 picks, insanely great. Mac Jones, I thought, at 15, they didn't move up to get him. Everybody knows they wanted him.
Yeah.
So that's a win for them. Christian Barmore falling to number 38, and they traded up to get him. Great move. The defensive end, Ronnie Perkins, in round 3 out of Oklahoma. Round 4, they get the running back out of Oklahoma as well, Ramondre Stevenson. I thought that the Patriots did great in this draft. I gave them an A.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I thought the AFC did really well. That division is going to be fun. Fun to watch, man, for some time to come. A lot of young quarterbacks in that division now, and wow, let's just see, right? Moving on to the AFC North, Jay Bird. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, did I agree with them taking Najee Harris at 24? No, I think they need help elsewhere. That being said, I think Najee Harris is still going to be Rookie of the Year. The dude's a beast. They went along and did in that draft Steeler things, which are good things. Round 2, they get Pat Freiermuth, a great blocking and receiving tight end. They get the only Illinois player taken in this draft, Kendrick Green, center, who's a very solid center in the 3rd round, so that's going to help him out. 4th round, they get Dan Moore out of Texas A&M to help out a tackle. He'll be a starter. And then they have a 2nd round 4 pick. They get Buddy Johnson, linebacker, so they go back-to-back A&M guys. They got the defensive tackle out of Wisconsin in round 5. And round 6, another linebacker that I thought fell, and that's Quincy Roche from Miami, linebacker from Miami. And then from there, there's got a couple guys in the 7th round. I'm not going to bring up 7th round names unless it's somebody from Iowa. So that being said, the Steelers, man, I gave them a B/B plus.
All right.
I thought it was a good draft. I mean, they're going to have to figure something out in free agency, but there's still time to work. I still think they need some help on that O-line.
Thing you got to love about Najee Harris is hosting a draft party at the homeless shelter, where his mom and him lived in 2010.
I'm telling you what, I think Najee Harris is just a great kid,
Mhm.
and I love what he did. I watched the story on Quitty-Pay.
Yeah, Quitty. Yeah, I know you went on to
Quitty.
Quitty. Okay.
Yeah, he's named after his grandpa.
You're a big fan,
dude.
Yeah.
His mom saved. I mean, she ran when they lived in like Sierra Leone area.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the country off the top of my head. I should. But what was going on is they would start burning someone's house, and as you ran out the front door, they shot you.
Oh, jeez.
So she had noticed that her father's house was on fire. And she took off out the back, got the hell out of there, made it to America. Obviously, struggled to get by at times, but her son had these dreams of making it to the NFL and did everything she could do to make sure that he had it. I mean, great damn story. So
yeah,
I want to see a lot of good things from that kid. Cleveland Browns, Jay Bird.
Okay.
Wow. This team, if you are a Browns fan, I thought they had the best draft along with another team.
You thought they had the best draft?
This is where I'm going with this. So
Okay.
they get Greg Newsome at 26, which totally hit one of their needs.
Yep.
Boom. Okay. And then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah falls to them at 52. Insane. This kid, talent beyond belief. I think there was some concern with a slight injury. Everything I hear is going to be fine. And then they turn around and get Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn. This kid is track speed, like Olympic track speed.
Okay.
Yeah, insane. All right, so there's 3. Then they get one of the better tackles in this draft, especially down at in this round. James Hudson from Cincy, and this guy was slated to go 3rd round. So they were just tearing this up.
Yeah.
They get the defensive tackle Tommy Togiai from Ohio State, also in round 4. Round 5, they had 2 picks in round 5. Tony Fields, linebacker from West Virginia, and then they got the safety out of Georgia, Richard LeCounte III. I just thought they tore up this draft and just built on strengths of things they need. So we'll see, man. But Cleveland's going to be a tough team, real tough team. I gave them an A++.
Oh boy.
All right, moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Did they Bengal it up, Jay?
Absolutely not. They took a kicker.
They did not Bengal it up. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I thought the Bengals destroyed this draft. Jamar Chase, reuniting him. Everybody's like, oh, they needed to take Sewell here.
Mm-mm.
No, they didn't, because they got Jackson Carman in the 2nd round at 46. Carman's a beast. He was protecting the hippie from Clemson the entire time. So Carman was great. And then they get Joseph Osai in the 3rd round. Osai, I had high 2nd round talent, and they get him in the 3rd. So good pick there. And then they go on to get Cameron Sample from Tulane in 4. This is another steal here, Jay. Tyler Shelvin, defensive tackle out of LSU. This dude is a mountain of a man. He is 365 pounds. He's enormous to plug up the middle. I thought that round 4 was great. They get another offensive tackle to help build the depth on that line, Deontay Smith out of East Carolina. Then they did get your kicker, Evan McPherson out of Florida.
That's right.
So, and then the center out of Georgia, round 6, Trey Hill. Shocking that he fell there. A name that I had said in some of my later rounds, someone that you should watch out for, Chris Evans out of Michigan. Watch him to be a special teamer.
Okay.
Right, but running back. So, Cincinnati, very, very, very good draft. I gave them an A.
All right.
Good job to the Bengals.
The North getting strong in the draft.
Very strong in the draft. And then moving on to Baltimore. Hey, I flipped and flopped a little bit on this, and then I went back and I looked at it. Baltimore, I had needs down. Defensive end, offensive line, safety, tight end, D-line. We know they needed wide receiver help as well. Wasn't listed on that, but they went out and got Rashad Bateman at 27, and they had a second first-round pick, and they got Jason Owe, who is now Odefe Owe, I believe. That's how they pronounce his name now. So 2 solid picks there in the first round. Then they don't pick again till the third, but they get Ben Cleveland, the guard out of Georgia. So here you go. You get some O-line help, which they had down. And then again in round 3, they get Brandon Stevens, quarterback out of SMU. Very talented, worked out. Round 4, Tylan Wallace, wide receiver out of Coleman State. And this is where I think a really big steal they got at corner from Ohio State, Sean Wade. Remember in that one draft that we had? Sean Wade was a way too early draft. Projected first rounder.
Oh.
So I thought getting Sean Wade in round 5 was good. He's going to need a little bit of help, a little bit of coaching, but I ended up giving Baltimore B+ on this after a while. I kind of went back and forth. I had him like at a B, maybe B-, and then I just started rating. I think that pick with getting Wade late really helped them out. So that's where I had them. Moving on to AFC South, Bird. The Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, scrolling here, pardon me.
They did take Mekhi Sargent in the undrafted free agents.
Did they really?
Yep, they signed him yesterday.
Right, that's somebody else we forgot to talk about.
Yep.
So Tennessee falls right in their lap. Caleb Farley would not have been that far down if it hadn't been for the back issues, but great pick at that point, and it did help them on some of their needs. Moving on, help on their O-line. The kid from North Dakota State, Dylan Reduns. Tough kid. And then I like they had 2 third-round picks, and I thought these were great picks. At 92, they got Monty Rice out of Georgia, linebacker, and then Elijah Molden, the cornerback out of Washington. So they really, really shored up their cornerbacks situation. And then they went on and addressed their wide receiver needs. They got Des Fitzpatrick out of Louisville, and then they got a defensive end, Rashad Weaver, out of Pittsburgh. So 2 6-round picks I'm not talking about. But I thought the Titans did very well in this draft. I thought every one of their guys was solid guys that I had on my radar somewhere in the first 3-4 rounds. I gave them a solid A. They didn't screw up this draft. They took what was available to them, and they took the best they could get. So I thought it was good. Moving on, the Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know they had the first pick. We all knew who they were going to take. That's, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
We all knew it, and it happened, and that's who they should have taken. They move on, and I thought they did great in this draft, Jay. I gave them an A+, and I'll just go through the names. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, reunited. Feels so good. And then they get probably the 4th best corner in this draft, Tyson Campbell.
Yeah, out of Georgia.
And then they get Walker Little, who Emily has first-round talent, by the way. Walker Little out of Stanford.
Okay.
And then they take Andre Sisco, safety out of Syracuse, round 3. Round 4, they get a guy who in the way too early 2021 draft that we did, defensive tackle USC, Jason Tufele. Get him in the 4th round. Every mock I saw, they had him either late 2nd, early 3rd. So I thought that was a steal round 4. Then they get a defensive end from Alabama, Birmingham, Jordan Smith. Tight end out of Ohio State, Luke Farrell. So I thought the Jaguars tore this draft up. They got an A+. Indianapolis Colts. Where do we start? First things first. They got my favorite story of the draft, and I'm hoping for big things out of the Quitipe. From there, I thought they overreached at 2. And their second pick, Deo Odebinigunu from Vanderbilt. Then they don't pick again until round 4. They get the tight end from SMU, Kalen Granson. And everything else from there was just downhill. I didn't like much in their draft. I don't know why I even gave it what I gave it other than I like Quitipe. I gave it a B- C+, and actually I'm going to change that to a full C+.
Well, we'll see what Frank Reich can do with Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, I
mean, the kid was, I think, 2-3 years in a row nominated or preseason Heisman hype. I mean, he never really followed up on it, but that's their quarterback out of Texas.
You got him in round 6. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, the Colts didn't have a lot of draft capital to spend, so I don't know. C+ is a good grade considering what they had to pick. They had no thirds, no multiples in any round except for the 7th. So what are you going to do?
Yep.
Okay, moving on. I can't believe I got to talk about this team, but Houston. Don't even pick until number 67 in the 3rd round.
That's the writing's on the wall there.
Yeah, they take Davis Mills. So we all know something's going on with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, he's gone.
First quarterback they've taken since Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing again. I did like the pick after that at 89, Nico Collins, wide receiver out of Michigan. At round 5, they get Brevin Jordan, one of the top 5 tight ends in round 5. So that's solid. But they had no capital. I don't know what Davis Mills is going to be. We all know that he was hyped up, but he was injured a lot. I gave Houston a D-, and I believe they got the lowest grade of any team.
Yeah.
So, not impressed, and not impressed with that franchise, period.
All right, we're going to have to freeze there. We're going to have to go to break. We'll be right back. Don't worry about reading the promo. We'll read one soon because we have a lot to go on, and then we're going to recap the rest of this after we have guests and everything else.
Have fun and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit Vegas Gaming Cafe, IL.com.
From the gridiron to the 9-iron, experience the thrill of the game anywhere in Iowa with Elite Sportsbook. You can now sign up for Elite Sportsbook on your phone anywhere in Iowa and receive your first bet risk-free, up to $500. Just visit EliteSportsbook.com to create an account, and your first bet is on us, up to $500. It's time to play your game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only, valid only in Iowa. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
I need these boxes in bin 7. Oh, hello. Hi. I just wanted to call in and find out when next...
Whitney's warehouse foreman just retired, and the replacement needs to move to fulfillment.
Hold on. Guys, can we get the dock cleared now?
Indeed can help her hire the people she needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, hit all the time.
Let's go commercial free. Even though saying we're going commercial free is technically a commercial for this station. When I say commercial free, I mean no commercials from our sponsors. But saying that is still a commercial of sorts, just to be clear. Okay, now I'm confused. Let's go commercial free. Except for this message about how we're going commercial free.
Maybe commercials about going commercial free just need a Snickers. Snickers satisfies.
Get the most earned income credit with AmeriFile. Don't do your own taxes this year. With COVID relief, tax refunds could be at record levels. It's incredible. AmeriFile's tax preparers will compare last year's income with this year's income and select the one that gets you the most earned income credit. Repeat, AmeriFile gets you the most earned income credit guaranteed. Call AmeriFile 762-8087. Don't do your own taxes. This is not a normal tax year. AmeriFile. With the CARES Act, Stimulus Recovery Credit, and new earned income tax calculation, you'll get the most refund with AmeriFile. Switch from doing your own taxes with TurboTax, and AmeriFile prepares your federal and state taxes for only $45 to $89. Drop off your tax stuff at AmeriFile's drive-through windows in both Moline and Davenport for contactless tax prep. Call 762-8087 or AmeriFile.com. TurboTax is a registered trademark, and pricing may not include non-common forms such as Schedule C, E, and F. See AmeriFile.com for details.
From the first pitch to the final out, this is your home for Major League Baseball. ESPN 1170.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. This is Don't Hassle's Local, AM 1170.
We're going to finish up the rest of the AFC, and then we will have a phone call. We'll have a guest. And once John's done, we'll do the NFC after that. Cool with you?
Yep,
All
sounds
right.
great.
Okay.
We'll finish it up with the AFC West. If you just recapping for you guys really quick. Buffalo, B-, B. Miami, A. The Jets, a B+. New England, an A. Pittsburgh, B+. Cleveland,
You don't
A++.
have to go that fast. You don't have to go that fast. All right.
Cincinnati, an A. Baltimore, B+.
Oh, you're recapping, yeah. There you go.
Tennessee, an A. Jacksonville, A+. Indy, a C+. And Houston, a D-. Moving on to the Denver Broncos, who, after day one, if you recall, made me very, very, very angry.
Because they took your guy.
They took my guy
Patrick
right before
Surtain,
me
yep.
as their draft continued. Javonte Williams, round 2, running back, North Carolina. And then they get in round 3, Quinn Miners, the guard from Wisconsin Whitewater. And then in the round 3 as well, they get Baron Browning, linebacker, Ohio State. Round 5, Caden Stern, safety, Texas. Round 5 again, Jamar Johnson, safety, Indiana. And then they get a receiver from Auburn, Seth Williams. I thought Denver had a great draft.
Good.
Especially when I know that they're trading for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and especially when you have that happening. Yeah, that's always that's
A plus to Denver. Insanely good draft, and so pissed at you for taking my guy, but whatever. That's fine. I got to give you the grade you deserve. Moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs. Round 2 was their first pick. Obviously, we know they traded away their round 1 pick for an offensive lineman. So they had two second-round picks. I'm sorry. They get Nick Bolton and then Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma.
Okay.
I thought those were great picks. I like Nick Bolton's story. I think he's going to be a great run stopper for them. Creed Humphrey just helps add more depth to that line. Then they don't pick again until round 4. They get defensive end Joshua Cano. Overall, then they had this is a steal for them, I thought, too. A guy that fell pretty far because of blood clots. He's getting blood clots in his lungs for some reason. Trey Smith, the guard out of Tennessee, went in round 6, 226.
Okay.
This dude was like hyped up to go really high. At one point, they had this dude as a freshman, I believe, at Tennessee, like the second best lineman in the country. So if they can get him healthy, they stole this. That's an if. That being said, they still got a solid B. For as much talent as they have on that team with what they've done in free agency, their overall grade for off-season is A++, but just for the draft alone is a very solid B. Can't complain there. The Vegas Raiders. Everybody yelled at him for the reach on Alex Leatherwood, but then they turn around and take Trayvon Warwick round 2. Flip that then. If you want to complain, 2 great picks right there. I'm sorry. That's solid. They don't pick again until round 3. Malcolm Kuntz out of Buffalo. I thought that was a reach. Divine Diablo, a safety out of Tech. I remember I had Diablo in one of my picks when I was doing I did not have him at high. I just thought from here that it was just a lot of reaching and just all over the place. I gave him a B- just because I did like the first 2 picks. So Vegas, the Raiders get a B-. And then my Los Angeles Chargers, Jay.
Yeah.
They just stay pat, just let things come to them.
Yeah.
I like teams that do that sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to trade the farm to get something. Just sit back and wait a little bit, see what happens. When you do that, Rashawn Slater falls in your lap.
Sure
in
did.
round 1. And then you sit there and, oh, my God, hey, we need a corner. Okay. Hey, this guy's dad was pretty good. Remember Asante Samuel?
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll take him. A little bit undersized, but the kid's a ball player, man. Then they get the wide receiver out of Tennessee, Josh Palmer. Tight end out of Georgia next, same round, Trey McKitty. And then they get the rump shaker, Chris Rumpf, linebacker out of Duke.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, they get Nick Neiman, linebacker, round 6 out of Iowa.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the Chargers draft. I gave it a B+, A-.
Okay.
That rounds up our AFC. And when we get back, after we're doing all our fun stuff, we'll do the NFC.
We're going to give Mike a call out there at Hidden Hills. We're going to talk some DFS golf. Talk about how our weekly segment just bumped up a day.
Hey, there it is.
I know.
Hidden Hills.
Big Mike, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
We're doing well.
Yeah, doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fast today.
Yep, weather's looking good. Weather's looking good for the next couple days, and then I'm sure that'll open up some things out there at Hidden Hills. The storm came out of nowhere. People got golfing in the morning, I know, but the afternoon that storm didn't come out of nowhere, but it came a little violent and then went away. So, but now
definitely.
Now it's a new day, a new month there at Hidden Hills, and you guys have got your Memorial Day tournament coming up here soon, right?
Yes, we do. It's Memorial Day Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the 31st of May. 8 a.m. shotgun, 4-person best ball. So just give me a captain's name, sign up at the clubhouse, and we'll put you in. We've got 10 teams or so far, so we'll probably go to about 25 teams, so there's about 15 spots available.
Okay. And that's going to be at Hidden Hills, 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf, just north of the TBK complex. Do you want them to come to the clubhouse? Do you want them to call you? What would you rather do?
They can just call the clubhouse. That's fine.
Okay. And that number is 563-332-5616 and get signed up for that tournament. Like you said, there's only 15 spots left going on there. Everything else is going well out there, though?
Yeah, definitely. We had the timely rain yesterday, so it was on the drier side. So now we're back to the conditions are improving each and every day. So,
and you guys, it's Tuesday. Yeah, and it's Tuesday night. You guys have your Spark Golf League that's going on there, right?
Yep, we're doing that, and then we've also got our 2-man Tuesday league also going. So yeah, we're busy with the leagues, and it'll just get busier as the weather gets nicer and the summer continues to go.
Right on. We're doing this a day early because tomorrow it's a White Sox game, so we're not going to be on the air tomorrow. So that's why we called you a day early. Usually we do our DFS the day before the golf, but we're going into, what event is this? The Wells Fargo?
Well, yeah, Wells Fargo. This might help us maybe doing it a day early. We haven't had a ton of luck yet here doing it on a Wednesday.
That's true. So maybe that's it. Maybe we need to shake it up.
Although, but we're patient. You're not going to hit every home run, right?
That's right. Okay. What do you want to do for our DFS for the golf this weekend?
Okay. I've got 6 players for you.
Love it.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, yeah.
I've got Abraham Answer.
Yeah. I know Abe. That. Yeah. All right. It's going to cost us 8.9. Yep.
I'm going to go Iowa Zach Johnson.
All right. Love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we're going down Pat Perez's boat.
Pat Perez's boat? Ooh, yeah. That guy likes to party.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he looks like it. Now what else we got?
Next, we're going with Schwartzel.
Yep. All right. 7.2. It's leaving us with 19.8, so average of 9.9 per player. What are you going to do with all that money?
I know. We've got a couple good players here, Jay. We got Webb Simpson.
Okay.
He's always had some good success at the Wells Fargo, and they're playing a course he's very familiar with.
All right. And then finally, with 9.6 left,
we're going with Will Zalatoris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the guy that's the kid out of Texas, right? That just did really well at the Masters?
Yeah, he had a great Masters. Looked really good that final day. So, we'll see. He's a little expensive, but we'll see if he can pay it off for us.
I like that. I like the Zalatoris pick there.
Mm-hmm.
He's very well groomed for this game. He's got he's basically, like, the story behind him is he's played Augusta before, him and some of his buddies. Like, that's a weird story.
Yep.
Like, just randomly that people just I'm just gonna I had a college golfing trip with me and my friends to Augusta, and yeah, he's played
very well. Looks like a golfer. He's got that flowing blonde hair like you got.
Yeah, but it's more like the kid, the caddy from Happy Gilmore, though. That's been the reference, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, good. Anything else coming? Anything coming up over the next month that we need to highlight? Like, is there any Father's Day tournaments coming up or anything?
Yeah, we do. Getting to that, June,
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day Sunday, we do a 2-man Father's Day event. So it's not necessarily father-son, but it's like a family-oriented event. So you just it's a 2-man, though. So it's a 2-man best ball, 8 o'clock on that Sunday of
June 20th, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Day after the Pints outing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So make it.
Yeah. Because the Pints Golf Outing is June 19th, and you can still sign up for that at Pints or get a hold of us through social media for the June 19th, and the Father-Son's right after that. So you can get crazy with the Cheese Whiz on Saturday and then just have a nice, easy Father's Day two-man tournament on Sunday. Look at that. Just a weekend of golf.
Correct.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
A little early, 8 o'clock a.m., but you'll be done by noon or 1. And all of our events, by the way, are 22 holes. So
okay,
you get a lot of bang.
Yeah, and you guys can check out more of that if you go to hiddenhills-golf.com and do that. Like Mike said, the Memorial Day tournament's coming up. They have about 15 more openings left. You can call 563-332-5616, or better yet, when you plan a little golf afternoon with your buddies, sign up at the clubhouse, and then you're good to go for the tournament that's coming up. All right, Mike, I want to thank you for your time today.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good rest of the show, and then enjoy your time off tomorrow.
Yep, appreciate it. All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
Yep.
All right, that's Mike from Hidden Hills out there, and thank him for talking with us. And we got a DFS to keep our eye on. It makes me watch or pay attention more to golf Thursday through Sunday when we have DFS involved. All right, we are going to have to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have John Byrne in the studio with us. We're going to talk to him about the money that he's raising for this ultra marathon Leadville, and you guys are going to learn a lot about this event. It's incredible, and you're going to learn a lot about John. He's a great dude. So we will be right back here. Don't Hassle for Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
PointsBet understands that in sports, it pays to be fast. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Whether you're a bettor or a baller, a sharp or a sharpshooter, if you're making money or just playing money, sports is speed. Luckily, your sports book can keep up. When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards at your fingertips. Plus, right now, PointsBet is giving customers the best odds on all pro sports. That's better odds and bigger payouts on our lightning fast app, because PointsBet knows every second matters. Time is money, and it pays to be fast. PointsBet has the best odds on all pro sports, so download the app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. See for yourself why bettors are calling PointsBet innovative, lightning quick, and the reason they have ditched the other books. Download the app now to experience Iowa's premium sports book for yourself. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
Fun saving money. Not fun utility bills. Fun generating your own clean renewable energy. Not fun flushing dollar bills down a toilet. Fun calling Square One Solar for a no pressure free in-home estimate and getting a free solar phone charger. Not fun paying your electric bill for the rest of your life. Let Square One Solar show you the benefits of solar. Over a decade of solar experience. Financing available, and for a limited time, buy one solar panel, get one free. Get your free solar analysis today. Square One Solar. Make the solar switch.
Gotta finish this today.
Cristiano's construction projects typically run smoothly, but this project's pipeline is about to burst.
Yo, boss, where you want us to put this? To the left. Your other left. John.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Sorry to interrupt your jams, murder mystery podcasts, or motivational beach noises, but we got something else you might like to hear. It's called cash. That's the sound of an extra $250 after your first 10 deliveries with Uber Eats. That's right, an extra $250 on top of all the other cash you'll make during those first 10 deliveries. If that sounds good, visit t.uber.com/extra250. Uber Eats, deliver with us. Limited time offer, terms apply. See t.uber.com/extra250 for more details.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Monday was the deadline for teams to pick up the fifth-year option on their 2018 first-round picks. And the Bills made sure to lock up two key pieces of their team for at least one extra year. Buffalo picked up the options on quarterback Josh Allen and linebacker Tremaine Edmonds Monday. Both players were Pro Bowlers in 2020. Meantime, the Cowboys declined the fifth-year option on Leighton Vander Esch. But NFL Network's Jane Slater reports the team would like to sign the linebacker to a new long-term deal. In New England, the Patriots are picking up the fifth year on offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn, but decline the option on running back Sony Michel, meaning he will be a free agent after this season. And the Panthers may bring back a familiar face. The team asked permission to interview Bills exec and former Carolina All-Pro linebacker Dan Morgan for their assistant GM position. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
So, how can I promote my new curbside pickup service?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need custom floor decals that'll get noticed, not just walked on.
Also possible, Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. And now get 15% off signs, posters, and decals when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 5/29. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu with iconic flavors that taste like instant summer. You order the one and only drumstick blizzard with peanuts. Oh, wow. Crunchy waffle cone pieces, world-famous DQ soft serve, and blue sky bliss. Or maybe you get the brownie batter blizzard. Ooh, wee. Fudgy brownie goodness. You're feeling breezy and dreamy all over. Moments like these are why the new DQ Summer Blizzard treat menu exists. Get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy tastes good.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
All right, we are back here in the House of Castle. Thanks for tuning in. Jay Bird.
Well, I'm going to introduce a friend of mine that I've gotten to know recently, John Byrne out of Bettendorf. He works at St. Ambrose. He's going to fill us in. But the cool thing about this is the Leadville, this ultra marathon that is in this mining town. And it's an event that's been 37 years old. It's 100 miles in 24 hours. It's 2 miles above sea level. We've talked to Pat Militich on the show about this before, years in the past, but obviously not last year because they didn't hold the event or anything like that. But John, a couple things. First, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jay and Troy, for having me on the show. Yes, I've been a resident of Bettendorf for about 30 years now. I'm an Eastern Iowa guy, grew up on a farm, and I've been a professor at St. Ambrose University in the College of Business for the last 30 years. And I raised 5 children, went through the Bettendorf school system. Now have 3 grandchildren. And
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And since about 2005, when I turned 40 years old, I've kind of developed a hobby for doing some pretty physically daunting physical feats, which has been pretty awesome in a lot of ways. We'll probably talk about some of that.
Sure. So about 40 years old, you just had this turn where you're like, I'm going to try this.
That's when my body started breaking down.
Well, some guys go through midlife crisis and they want to buy a red Corvette, and I couldn't afford that, so I decided to test myself in different ways. Actually, a quick backstory. I have loved sports all my life, been a fanatic. I still am. Sports is great. But I was what you would call a late bloomer. Worked my tail off in high school. Just did not have the talent, and I was grew late. And always wanted to be that guy who was, great athlete, and I just never was. And then into adulthood, I kept playing sports. I did grow and, got a lot bigger and faster, but I also learned that just through hard work and mental toughness and training, you can develop yourself into an athlete as well. So in some ways, I'm kind of getting some of that satisfaction and accolades that I never got growing up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been fun.
So what was your first thing that you started to do that when you're at 40? And basically, I know when we talked before, the quote I remember is you just basically telling yourself, "I'm not ready to get old yet." Yeah, and so what did you start to do?
Exactly. So I had heard about this race out in Colorado. It's a 100-mile run through the mountains. It's the Leadville Trail 100-mile run. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a runner by background or anything. And actually, I really didn't even like running. I like it now, but I didn't. And I thought it would be something really tough, really cool to do. And even though I didn't know how to prepare for it, I just said to myself, I can do this. And so I started training for it, and so that was the first of many things that I've done.
So how does the race go then? You're running 100 miles. Obviously, you are taking breaks? No?
Well, not really. Not like people would think. So tell you a little bit about the race. As Jay said, it's 2 miles above sea level. So essentially, your lungs are processing about 1/3 of the oxygen that we normally process. So everything you do is like 3 times as hard. A lot of people freak out about Denver, being the famous mile-high city. Well, Leadville's a 2-mile-high city.
Right.
And that's where the race starts, and it goes up from there.
Oh, wow.
So the race starts at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's dark. And essentially, you're running 50 miles out into the mountains, and then you turn around and come back. So it's an out-and-back race. It's in high altitude, and you're going through mountain trails for most of the race. There are mountain lions and bears that are there.
I was just going to ask that.
Wow.
But, that's fun to tell people, and I'd like to just stop there. But, the Catholic guy in me wants to be honest, and I say, you don't see mountain lions and bears because they're probably as scared of us as we are of them.
Yeah.
And so, you see rabbits and squirrels. But, if you were to come across a cub by accident, you run the risk.
Yeah.
And they have you sign a waiver before you start the race. If you get killed or hurt, it's not our fault. Mm-hmm. So just having that weigh on your mind.
Not responsible for the bears or the lions.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and it's just a really rigorous course. A lot of people say it's the toughest, ultra marathon in the world. Now, everybody's going to argue that. But there's a lot of altitude climb. The oxygen's the killer. Mm-hmm. That's what most races don't have. It's just so hard to breathe. So hard to acclimate. Some people just can't do it. With a long race like this, it's different than like running the Bix, which is tough in its own right. But it's not just about being in good enough shape and running something. You've got to strategize, and you have to figure out your nutrition. You have to avoid blisters. You're going to get injured and you're going to feel pain, but you want to minimize it enough so that you can keep going. So in the race, there's a 30-hour time limit, and once you start, you go. You're free to sit down and take a nap or rest, but the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And so most people, you're just going the whole time. You might sit down for 3 or 4 minutes, catch your breath if you need to, but then you're up and going again. And so it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's, yeah. How did you come across? And you're like, yep, that I can do this. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Years ago, I'd ran the Bix. I can't imagine ever running 100 miles, even in my best shape.
Well, one of the things that I do in addition to teaching is I love to do motivational speaking.
Okay.
And when you think about why do you want to listen to a speaker, usually it's because they did something kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great life. But I don't feel like I had done anything cool. And I had heard about this race from my sister, who used to teach high school out in Colorado. And I was like, this is cool, and this is really hard. And, if I want to speak somewhere, I think people would be interested in hearing about it.
Yeah.
So honest, as simple as that sounds, that's the reason why I picked this.
And when was your first one?
2005.
Okay.
And I was 40 years old.
And this will be your 5th one overall?
This will be my 5th one. I did it in 2005 at 40.
Yep.
2012 at 47. 2016 at 51. 2017 at 52, and this will be 2021, and I'm 56.
And in between, so after the one you originally did in 2005, you actually started raising money for different charities and whatnot.
Yeah, and that has been the coolest thing about it. So the first time I, kind of did it for myself, I guess. And then in 2012, a good friend of ours, Andy Erpelding.
Know Andy very well.
Yeah, super stud.
Great dude.
Yeah, national champion at Northwest Missouri State in football. And, awesome guy. Well, his daughter, Charlie, had Ewing sarcoma as an 8-year-old girl, rare form of bone cancer. And they just incurred tons of medical bills and just, travel back and forth from Iowa City. So there was a citywide movement cheering for Charlie. They're selling T-shirts and doing all sorts of fundraisers. And my good buddy Rick Fountain, which we should talk about him.
Good-looking fella.
Oh, very good-looking.
Dashing.
Probably my best friend, and we've been through a lot together, not just Leadville, but other types of things. Rick, said, we decided to do this race together in 2012. I kind of recruited him to join me, and he said, why don't we raise money for Charlie? I'm like, great idea.
That's awesome.
We ended up raising over $10,000 and just to give to the family. And so it was really cool, and then in 2016, you mentioned Pat Militich earlier. So we got six. Yeah, we got
who's that guy?
Six of us together. We coined ourselves the QC Leadville 6.
Oh, nice.
And we went out that year and we raised over $40,000. About half it went to the Have Life organization.
Yeah.
Hunter A. Vondren.
Yep.
So Mike Vondren and his wife established that memorial for Hunter since he was tragically killed as a teen, and the money there goes to fund indigent families who can't afford to send their kids to sports camps, music camps, art camps. Great organization.
Yeah, we've done some stuff with them at Pints, and great. Good place to be involved with. And then
the other organization was the Navy SEAL Family Foundation. So when Navy SEALs die in the line of duty, these funds help their families with the kids going to college and things like that. So we're really proud. And the race is cool in and of itself, but when you can help someone else along the way, it just makes it 10 times better. So then this year, I am so happy to do it, but Leadville has grown in such popularity that you can't just sign up and get in. You have to enter a lottery. And I signed up to see if I was picked, but I wasn't. So I really wanted to run it. I've been training 2 years for this thing, and I just want to knock it out. And fortunately, there was an option to partner with a charity. And there were about 10 charities. And the one that kind of spoke to my heart was Autism Speaks. I'd like to talk about that in a little bit. I agreed to raise money for Autism Speaks, and in return for my efforts, they gave me an opportunity to go punish myself for 25, 30 hours. So that's how that came about. And it's life is a funny thing. Why I didn't originally decide, hey, I'm just going to do money for charity, but that's sort of what I was forced into doing. But now that happened, I wouldn't want it any other way, because now the race, it just takes on more meaning because it's not just about me.
Yeah. And
that's great.
Yeah, and you've mentioned that before. You're doing that for Autism Speaks, and you've already started to raise a little bit of money for this, right?
Yeah, things are going way, way great. I mean, super happy about it. I put out a Facebook fundraiser, and people responded in droves, which has been really cool. And then I tried to initiate some other activities just to, help the organization. And, in addition to just raising money for it, what I also committed to do was I wanted to try to promote what this organization does, and how it can help families and how it can help all of us understand autism a little bit more and the things that we can do to help it. Because the cool thing about promoting this organization is that this is something we can do something about, but people have to know about it, and they have to know what's available to them. So I'm kind of on a mission for education advocacy as well as for money.
Yeah, and we're going to be having an event at Pints on May 20th, Thursday night. You're going to be raising some money for this. It's
who do you got in line to be some of your guest bartenders along with
you? He might be doing it solo the way he runs it. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
You might want to take the challenge of
I was
being
just
a
thinking
bartender.
we get like that good-looking Rick Fountain behind the bar.
Oh.
Ladies would love.
Yeah, you guys were talking about Rick.
He's a married man, though.
You want to talk about
hands
Rick?
off.
You wanted to bring up,
Rick's great. We've been friends for probably 25 years. I met him as a grad student when he coached football at Ambrose in the early 90s when I started working there. And we have been workout buddies for the last probably 14 years. And, there's probably times he curses me under his breath. But he and I have done a lot of these pretty awesome things together. So after I ran Leadville the first time and decided to want to run it again, we had been training a lot. And he's just such a, I can't say enough good things about him. But he said, you know what, I'll train with you for this. And I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big thing to bite off, to train for something like this and not even run the race. But I accepted his invitation, and we started running a lot. And I said to him, Rick, I said, as much as you're running, you're training with us. I said, would you be interested in doing the race? And he kept saying, well, maybe, I don't know. And so then eventually he's like, I might. We found out that the race was closing up, and I got a word that the race would probably be closed within the next 24 hours if he didn't sign up. So I said, Rick, I'm not trying to press you in doing this. I'm just saying if you want to do it, you need to sign up now. And he signed up. And so he and I did it in 2012 together. And ever since, he's paced me or he's run with me. He's done it a couple times too. He's 2 for 2. 1,000% finisher, which is pretty impressive.
That's really impressive because the numbers of the people that finish it over the people who sign up for are what?
Yes. This race is one where typically only 50% finish.
Wow.
Which is phenomenal,
considering
I can't believe
the
it's that
caliber
high of people who enter this race. I mean, these are serious runners. But it's just a testament to how tough the course is and how much you have to go through. You have some really skilled people that they can't do it that day. There are people who run it, they finished 5 times and they'll go out a 6th time and they can't do it. The first year I ran it, there was a lady, her name Pamela, might come back to me, but she was the first woman in the world to run 300 consecutive miles. And stud in ultra running. She didn't finish the year in 2005.
Holy cow.
She had a bad day, twisted her knee, and just couldn't finish.
Well, that'll do it to you, right? Yeah.
And the story behind it, like we said at the beginning of the show, Leadville, Colorado, it was a mining town, and the mining went away, and they were trying to figure out a way to keep people coming in. And so now it's turned into a tourist attraction.
That's a great story. This town was on the verge of being a ghost town. And a couple of people, Ken Klober, Mary Lee Maupin, decided we ain't going down. Leadville's a tough place, and these people are hard, rugged people, and they would not die. And so they created this race back in 1983, and it's been run every year ever since.
That's incredible. And then before we went on the air, you said you have a story about Kevin Frecking, mutual friend of ours.
Yeah, so a big part of this training, Leadville transforms lives, not just the people who run it, but the people who are involved, your team, and the people that kind of experience some of this along the way. So I can get into some teamwork stuff later. But a couple of things that we did in training, one of them was I decided that it was important to do a 24-hour run. Because at Leadville, you're going to run all morning, all day, all night into the next morning. And so I thought that would be a good training day. And in particular for Rick, I was like, I got to get him ready. I felt an obligation, since I had done this once. And so I said, Rick, we're running 24 hours. And Rick's a good soldier, and he's like, okay. There are times he raised his eyebrows at me, and he even asked a few times, is this really necessary? I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, okay, we'll do it. So our station was at Bettendorf High School, And that's kind of where we had our food and clothes stuff laid out. And we'd run the track there, then we'd go out and run in the country, come back. But that was kind of our home base. And so it was morning in late June. So by this time, the football team they were doing summer workouts and stuff. And Coach Frecking, 2 of my boys play ball for him. And they would run through a wall for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is a really great coach. And they love playing for him, and he makes his players better men.
Yep.
But anyway, so another story about this. So we heard about our 24-hour run, and so Rick and I started at 7 in the morning on Saturday, and we're going to go till 7 in the morning on Sunday. So we're running bleachers, and we're running around the track, and around 8 a.m., he brings his football players down, and then they do their victory lap, and we did stop for a minute and talk to him, not too long, because we were training.
That's right.
And he said, boys, I want you to know, these guys were out here running before you got to practice this morning. He said, when you go home, it's a hot day. He said, you're inside your house in the air conditioning. He said, these guys are going to be out here running. And he said, I want you to come back tonight after dark around 9 o'clock. And I want you to see them again. And he said, they're going to still be running. And then when you go home and go to bed, they're going to still be running. When you get up the next morning, they're going to still be running. And so I just thought that was really cool, you know.
Yeah.
One, it motivated us because these young stud athletes. It's kind of cool. You're these 2 old dudes out running.
And you don't want to disappoint Coach Freckin either.
Yeah, it really was neat when they came back. I mean, they gave us a big boost.
Yeah.
But the reason I wanted to bring that up, Jay, was he saw that as a teaching opportunity. You know, these kids, they work hard. Bettendorf football is a great program. But, again, to think the impact that it would have on these kids, like, wow, we think we're working hard. We think we're tired. These 2 guys are running all day, all night, and our workouts are like 2 hours. So I think there was some motivation for those guys and probably a lesson that they'll never forget.
Yeah, the kids looking at you 2 like, what are these 2 old men doing, right?
Exactly.
And that's like, holy cow. So, yeah, absolutely.
So, do you want to talk a little bit more about Autism Speaks?
Yeah.
And why you chose this one?
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, let me just talk for just a minute about autism.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, I've heard of it, but so basically, autism, it's a spectrum disorder, and it's really hard to define because no 2 autistic kids are alike, but there are some similarities. And essentially, and the reason why it's important is 1 in 54 kids have some form of autism in the United States. That's a lot. That's almost 2%. And so essentially, autism is where kids struggle either with repetitive behaviors that they have difficulty controlling, or social interactions and social skills and just communicating effectively. And, that can really be disruptive in your normal life. It's hard for those types of people to make friends and get along in situations where normally we just sort of pick it up and take it for granted. So, it's one of these diseases you would not wish upon your worst enemy. You really wouldn't. And, every family who has a person in it with autism would like it to go away. Now, there's really good news in this. So the first is that people with autism, even if they never recover out of it, oftentimes they have gifts that other people don't have. They can be really good at math or music or those types of other things. The other good thing is that if we can address autism at a young age, we can do something about it. And you can either chase it out of the kids' system altogether or just help them improve tremendously. So what they found is that if you can work with these kids early, and the school systems have done a great job in advancing how they treat these children compared to what they used to, 40, 50 years ago. And so, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a very positive thing. It's just that more people need to know about it, and we just need to know if we invest in these people at younger ages, we can help them a lot. And so that's really cool. So organizations like Autism Speaks, they promote research about autism. They provide information and resources for families who either don't know or who need it. And so I am all about trying to help organizations who are trying to help families cope with this and, help our communities better. So that's why I was pretty excited to help them. In my own personal case, I told you earlier I had 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
One of my children was diagnosed with autism at about age 3. And it was very, very hard. We worked our tails off in cooperation with our school district and with the medical professionals. And at the time, the doctors at the University of Iowa were just beside themselves because at the age of 9, they removed his diagnosis.
Wow.
And they said, this does not happen. We don't see this happening. And part of me wanted to say, well, you don't know how hard we worked to do this.
Yeah.
It did take a lot of effort, but it was worth it. And so my child who had autism, he went on. He was an honor student, has 2 degrees from college, played sports in college, and, just this amazing kid. He still has some social issues and challenges, but, we have personal experience with how you can combat this and have success with it. And that's what I want for other people and other families.
100%. That's an incredible story.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. What I like here is that Autism Speaks is something that hits home to you. You have friends in the Erpeldings, and you ran in 2012. And then the Have Life is a local thing here as well, and along with the Navy SEAL Family Foundations. But you're finding charities that actually hit home to you, and you're raising money. You're doing a great job. And the other thing about this that is neat is that you've worked so hard to accomplish this Leadville thing, but in the end, you still said to me that you're grateful to Leadville. Because you said, wow, if I can do that, what else can I do? And you've gone on and done all these other incredible things. You've done Ironman triathlon. You don't like to swim.
I hate swimming. I'm scared to death of it.
Yeah, where did you swim? In the ocean?
No, Lake Monona up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can do that. I don't like sharks, man.
Okay.
Oh.
You told yourself you wanted to run a 5-minute mile. You did. Then you wanted to bench press 300 pounds. You eventually did that. You wanted to run a burpee mile, which I do not want to do. You did that. You wanted to shoot 100 free throws in a row. You did that.
I personally saw him. He's a really good shot.
Make 100 in a row. It's not just shoot them. We all can go out and just chuck 100 free throws.
And
then 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
You just set these goals. Does anyone just say, like, you know what you should try next? Or do you just find these things on your own when you're just out running?
I created this poster about 25 years ago of things I wanted to do. And a lot of those things are on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some things I haven't done yet. But I achieved another one last week, actually, after we talked. I wanted to do 25 pull-ups in a row, and I did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so that was really cool. But, yeah, Leadville, that's been one of the greatest gifts in my life. I would tell you, it's the hardest thing by far that I've ever done. But it's also probably the greatest thing I've ever done. And I think that's a neat metaphor for life, too. I think the greatest rewards and satisfaction come through your greatest struggles and your hardships.
Mm-hmm.
Dip back to autism for 1 second. My wife and I, we take great pride and satisfaction in what we've helped our son become. In part because it was seemingly impossible task, and we had to work so hard to do it. So the rewards feel really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with Leadville, super hard. But I'll tell you, once you cross that finish line after running 100 miles, you feel like $1 million, and you're just the thing Leadville did for me was it just gave me so much confidence to try all these things. And what's funny about the things that you mentioned that I've done, most of those things before Leadville, I wouldn't have had the courage to try because I didn't think I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And why try something if you can't achieve it? But then there's a funny thought that enters your brain after you run 100 miles. Like, well, if I can run 100 miles, what else could I do? And now all of a sudden, the Ironman, the swimming, the 2.4 miles, which terrified me, now all of a sudden didn't terrify me. It's still hard work to do it.
Absolutely.
But I was like, I can do this. And the bench, again, just another, I was really a weak bencher growing up. I wasn't strong, probably not that strong now, but I just thought, I can do this. If I just work at it, it'll take some time. It took me about 9 months of some pretty dedicated lifting, but yeah, I went from probably was hardly benching 200 pounds to up to 315. But it just goes to show you put your mind to something, you work at it, you persevere, you hang in there. I think you can do most anything you want in life.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's what I said. Like, the more you peel back the layers after talking to you, I was just like blown away by it. It's not just this one race, and it's not just the QC Leadville 6. There's all these things that, and to keep that in mind, those other 5 guys that trained and ran with you, that's an incredible story. And you guys got to raise money at Pints. You guys had a tips night there, and you'll have another one May 20th. That's a Thursday night, 6 to 9 at 5268 Utica Ridge Road. But those guys, you guys all motivated each other and did that. But then you go on and you do all these other things. You set a goal, you accomplish it, and then some people could live off of that one time. You, like you said, you feel like $1 million. You feel like a hero. You want to go back. You want to run it again, and you have, and you will. And the only thing that held you back from last year was the global pandemic. So
it's funny, back in 2005, after I did finish Leadville my first time, I finished it, so I was really proud. I didn't meet my time goal, so that's kind of what keeps me going back. I want to run this thing under 24 hours is my goal. But I did think about it after I ran Leadville. People were like, why would you go back? And I'm like, well, I love the race. I love the community. I love what it stands for. I love the people. So it's easy to want to go back all the time. But I also thought, part of my message to other people is that, we have so much potential and we can do all these great things if we want to. It's like, what's it going to be like if I'm 80 years old and the only thing I can go back and talk about is like, oh yeah, when I was 40, I ran this race. What'd you do after that? Nothing. I'm like, well, I don't want to be that guy. If I'm asking other people, challenging other people to be better, to do more, it's like Leadville really was the beginning for me, not the end. And so that's what led to all these other things. I saw a show on PBS a couple months ago. Maria Shriver hosted it. And in short, what they said was that physically, mentally, and emotionally, the reason most people slow down and get old, it's not so much because, that's just, you have to die. They said the reason why people get old, they start forgetting, they lose their sharpness, or physically their skills start to diminish. It's because they stop challenging themselves. And as long as you challenge yourself, you can take your life well into old age. I think I'm an example. Right now, at age 56, I'm probably in the best long-distance running shape of my life. Now, physiologically, most people would say, well, you should have been better when you were 24. Well, yeah, maybe I should have been, but I wasn't working at it, and I didn't have the attitude. And, think about someone who's maybe, a CEO who's like 78 years old. And I can't think of a particular name. We could probably come up with some. It was like, oh, this guy or this gal, super sharp, super smart. It's like, but they're 78. Well, so what? They're reading the Wall Street Journal every morning. They're networking with people. They're talking about new ideas. They don't look and act like what we think a 78-year-old should, because their mind is constantly, being challenged, and they're just, and that's what they're saying is that, as an organism, the cells in our body respond to what we test it with. And so the same thing with me. I was like, I did my 315-pound bench press, let me think, 2013. So I was 50, 65, 45. Okay, I was 48 years old, I think. Okay. Yeah, I was 48.
There you go.
So I was the strongest in my life at age 48. And you go to the gym, there's some guys that 50 or 60 years old that are stronger than oxes. Why? Because they go in and bench 3 times a week. and they don't care. They're throwing up 300, 400 pounds. You know, there was a quote I heard one time that I love. They say, we don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing.
Yep.
And so, you know, if you want to just say, well, I can't do that anymore, fine. But if you want to keep doing it and you want to keep doing it better, then just do it. Now, you're probably going to get a bunch of hate mail on your show from me, but it's like, well, I got a bad knee and I got a bad hip. It's like, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I know that stuff happens.
Sure.
And I don't want to comment on any one individual situation, say, well, you're just lazy because you can't get better. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of people out there who are hitting new high marks, you know, at age 30, at age 40, at age 50, at age 60. And age doesn't have to hold you back. What holds most people back is probably what's between their ears, and they're listening to whatever voices that are saying, oh, you shouldn't do that anymore. I still, you know, I'm no threat to any guy in an NBA roster, but I still play some very competitive basketball. And people, friends, you should stop doing that, man. You're going to blow out a knee, you know. I'm like, no, I love basketball. And I love playing, and I go as hard at basketball today than I did it when I was 20 or I may go harder today than I used to because maybe I have to go a little bit harder. I'm like, I am not ready to surrender my body to whatever, old age or whatever you want to call it. It's like, there might come a day I may blow a knee out, but you know what? People blow their knees out and their shoulders out at age 15. I mean, it can happen anytime.
You're absolutely correct. We have a few minutes left. Anything you want to wrap up about this whole thing, the Leadville, and we'll talk more just at the end about the Thursday night at Pints and everything.
You know, I guess the one thing that I want to talk about with Leadville is I do want to talk about the teamwork aspect of it. So I go out and I run this race, or anyone goes out and runs this race. But what a lot of people don't maybe appreciate or realize is that it is a team effort, and you may think that I'm saying that as a cliche, but I am 100% genuinely and honest with you. So when I go out there, I have a crew. This is a team, and it might be 5 to 10 people that come with me, and they are there to support me. I also have a few people that are pacers. So in Leadville, the first 50 miles you run on your own. In the last 50 miles coming back, you're allowed to have a person with you. And, that person becomes your moral support. They become your brain, and they keep you going. The crews meet you at to certain checkpoints, help you change your shirt, change shoes, that kind of stuff. And what I will tell you is that in each of the races that I finished 3 out of 4 times. I got lost in the woods in my third race. I feel like an idiot, but that stuff happens. But without my crew, I would not have finished that race. And that is the dead truth. They kept me going. They helped me prevent making mistakes that I probably would have made on my own. One of the things that you have to keep eating and drinking even though you don't feel like it. And so they basically K-hole you and force you to do stuff that you don't want to do, and it's essential and it's necessary. So, you get this belt buckle here if you finish, which is really cool. I'm so proud of that. But I would not have that belt buckle if it weren't for my team. And I am so grateful to them for being there with me. I think they probably derive as much, if not more, satisfaction from the race than I do, because they know deep down in their hearts that I would not have finished if it weren't for them. And so there's a great deal of satisfaction in that. And I have had the pleasure of being a pacer and a crew for other people who have run that race, and it feels damn good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a different kind of joy, but it's no less of a joy. And so it's truly it's a great community, and you just feel this love and passion for everybody out there on race day and race weekend. It's funny, sometimes runners get competitive, line up for the Bix, and you got people throwing elbows. I got to get in front of you. The longer races get, the nicer people are, and the more they are supportive of each other. The long-distance ultra running community is a really great model for, how we make a better society. Because people truly care about each other, and you're fighting the mountain. You're fighting the elements, and, you're going to war with each other. There's no, if I run this race in my hope, 23 hours and 55 minutes, if the guy next to me runs it in 23 hours and 50 minutes, I am going to be so happy for him. I could care less that he beats me by 5 minutes. That's not what it's all about. It's about being your best.
Well, John, thank you so much for all of this. I want to remind everyone, John will be at Pints on May 20th, 6 to 9. He's raising money for Autism Speaks and running for Autism Speaks as well. This will be his 5th Leadville at the Leadville Ultra Marathon. We are running out of time. I could do this for another 2 hours talking to you, John, but I really appreciate you coming in and sharing your story with us. It's awesome.
Well, thanks. And the neat thing about the Pints is, some of my friends, it's like you'll go run 10, 15, 20 miles. This appeals to a demographic where they can do something that they enjoy a little bit more, and we can still have some fun.
There you go, and you can tell the story.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jay.
Thank you, John.
All right, Troy, the rest of your thing will be Thursday.
That's right.
So that's a little teaser for the people out there. But we are going to be done for the day. Tomorrow the White Sox are on, so we will not be in studio. You guys take care out there, Quad Cities. Stay safe and sanitized. Again, thanks, John, and thanks, Mike from Hidden Hills, for calling in. We will see you guys tomorrow.
This is Lobo from Lobo Salsa. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem. And yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm going to save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
River Valley Turf is your Quad Cities John Deere dealer specializing in lawn and garden, commercial equipment, John Deere utility vehicles, and compact tractors. River Valley Turf has a huge inventory of both new and used power equipment to get the job done right the first time. Deer season is going on now, so come shop the selection and save. Buy now before they're gone. Unlike the box stores, we let you drive it before you buy it. Stop in and see what River Valley Turf has to offer today, located in both Davenport, Iowa and Silvis, Illinois, or visit rivervalleyturf.com.
From the gridiron to the 9-iron, experience the thrill of the game anywhere in Iowa with Elite Sportsbook. You can now sign up for Elite Sportsbook on your phone anywhere in Iowa and receive your first bet risk-free, up to $500. Just visit EliteSportsbook.com to create an account, and your first bet is on us, up to $500. It's time to play your game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only, valid only in Iowa. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
It's Small Business Month, and Dell Technologies and Windows are celebrating your unstoppable drive. Save up to 45% on powerful PC.